The flat serve is normally a first serve. It's normally used as a heavy hitting serve, and it's used to push the person back beyond the baseline. There is 4 stages: the loading phase, the ball release phase, the contact point, and the follow through. The flat serve is a shot where you try to develop racket head speed. You're really trying to develop momentum in the racket head, and you hit it with a relaxed wrist. It is one of the only shots in tennis, other than the overhead, that you hit the ball with a relaxed wrist. You're using a grip number 1, which is a continental grip, and you're trying to coil the body, and then using a relaxed wrist, palm down as much as possible, because if you have a palm up, then it stiffens up the tendons and you start slowing down. The flat serve is normally a first serve, and therefore your weight is going forward into the court. The vector of the swing is forward. Your whole body is going forward. Remember, your body is still a little bit sideways on contact because of the continental grip, but the weight and the toss is way out in the court, and the power line is leaning forward. The power line is the line that leads down from the right arm through the body and out through the legs. So there should be a straight line. Now the serve, when I'm doing a coiling action, the body pivots to the side. I toss the ball about 1 o'clock position, and then I hit the ball, and my pronation occurs while I'm hitting the ball. That's how I flatten out the serve. The loading phase, which is the setting up phase, I start in a ready position, the racket's out in front. My knees, hips, and shoulders coil or turn to the side. It's not knee flexion, it's knee turning. The weight moves from the front to back, and I have relaxed arms and grip number 1. You'll notice my arms pivot to the side as if my hands have got handcuffs. There's an invisible pair of handcuffs on my hands. You notice that my shoulders are turning, my knees are turning, my hips turning. Everything is coiling to the side. I'm storing in potential energy like a spring, coiling energy. Notice the weight transfer is loading up onto the back foot. Now my weight's about 30% or 30% on the back foot, but then eventually loads up to about 70% on the back foot. All the weight goes onto the back foot. Start again, ready position, and you see how my body coils to the side. I'm definitely showing my opponent the back of my left shoulder. Everything pivots to the side, then my arms, once reaching the belly button, separate, and then my left arm starts going up. Here you see it in context. You see the whole serve in context, the normal speed. See the 1 o'clock toss position. Okay, step 2 is the ball release. Now the ball release is now when my weight is slowly going forward. The hand position, the left hand is now pointing up to the sky. Tossing arm straightens. The handcuffs, cobra, and brush. That is discussing what the right hand looks like, and the 1 o'clock toss position. It's very crucial when you're looking at this that the weight is starting to move forward. My elbow is moving to the right, coming up to almost contact. I'm coiling. Look at the toss. The ball release is going sideways. It's as if when I'm tossing the ball, as if I'm holding a cup of water in my left hand. The racket is palm down, so you'll notice that the elbow stays low and the hand goes above the elbow, and therefore it's palm across, palm down, and it's as if I'm brushing my hair. I'm brushing my hair with the palm down, which helps keeping the racket face closed. Now contact point. Contact is when I try and reach up to the ball. It's an answering phone, palm down to an X where the right wrist crosses over the left wrist, the back of the left wrist. The body is facing the right net post. The body is moving through contact. I have a relaxed wrist to maximize the amount of power that I hit the ball with, and pronation occurs while I'm hitting the ball. That is to maximize the amount of power and to really make sure that I get all the power into the ball. You'll notice that the power line, there's a straight line that I can draw straight from the racket, down the right arm, down my body, down through the right leg. That's called the power line. The contact point must be a 1 o'clock position. It's more out in front. The slice would be at number 2 o'clock position. Step 4 is the follow through. Notice that the bottom of the racket is facing up. The palm moves from in to out. It's almost as if my thumb's facing back, but then it faces forward. After the X, the racket moves to the left hip as if I'm sheathing a sword. The body is moving forward through contact, and my head is still looking up to the contact point. I'm not moving my head, I'm not dropping my head, my body is remaining upright. I'm trying to make sure my body is always facing up in the court. You'll notice here that my left arm is starting to drop a little earlier than it should. I really try and keep my left arm up to create the X, and then it pivots through. You'll notice that my foot is stepping into the court and I'm stepping in. Notice that the racket is on my left hip after I hit the ball. A great first serve is a great weapon to have in a singles game. Doubles game, normally we have a very strong second serve and we use a slice serve. But for singles, a very strong first serve is a definite must.